Hi there, thanks so much for clicking on and watching this today. You are here if you are wanting to do a little bit of lower body mobility. We're going to focus into kind of the quads, the glutes, hips a little bit today. So if you are feeling tight and sore in that area, this one is for you. So first things first, we're going to start off on a standing position or in a standing position. I want you to stand with your feet underneath your hips, and we're just going to take a nice deep breath up into the air. So deep breath in, raise those arms up. Exhale as you dive down towards the floor. Taking a few deep breaths here. Just start to ease into those hamstrings a little bit. If this straight leg position is a little bit too intense for you, don't be afraid to take just a slight bend into the knees. If you do that, you might get a little bit more of a stretch into that low back as well. Good. From there, walking it out into a plank position for me. Go ahead, sink your knees down towards the floor. And I just want you to start off in a nice child's pose position. So ease down into it here for me. Again, few deep breaths. One more here. Fantastic. Coming back up into that hands and knees position, we're going to get straight into our first stretch. So I want you to go ahead, step your right leg forward for me. I want that foot nice and firmly planted, and you can leave your back knee on the floor. From there, we're going to ease our body forward, taking one hand to the floor, squeezing into that left bum cheek to really release the muscles into the front of the hip. Now, option one, you can stay here and you can hold. Option two, you can go ahead and lower your forearms down towards the floor to increase that stretch that little bit more. Now, we're going to be holding here for probably about 30 seconds, all right? So do what's most comfortable for you. If you want, feel free to get a little bit of movement into the hips. Sometimes it feels quite nice. And then I want you to just find your breath and start breathing into it. Good, 10 more seconds here. Fantastic. Coming back up onto those hands, what I want you to do here is bend into your back knee, straighten out into your front leg, and pull that right hip back to square off your hips forward. From there, you're going to send your hips back. We're going to get into a nice hamstring stretch. Now, you might find this is far enough for you, in which case, go ahead, you can put your hands onto the kind of upper thigh area, or if you happen to have some pillows, feel free to place them on that. What I don't want is pressure on the knee. If you can go lower, feel free to put your hands all the way down onto the floor. Again, keep remembering to actively pull back that right hip. So we're really lengthening out through that leg and feeling a great big stretch up through the back of the hamstring. Now we'll hold here. Okay, again, you're welcome to get a little bit of movement into it, or even go from a pointed and finish off into a nice flexed position as we feel the stretch into, again, that hamstring. We'll take a few more deep breaths here. If you can, go that just a little bit lower. Again, we're looking for a decent stretch, not pain here, okay? Magic. One more breath. Fabulous. Okay, from there, I want you to go ahead and bend that leg. We're going to go into a nice pigeon stretch. So go ahead, take your leg into that pigeon stretch position. Now, I always find most people start off in quite a tucked position here. If you want to go ahead and increase that stretch, take that leg a little bit, or that heel a little bit further forward, and then roll your hips on top of it. I often use my kind of same arm as leg in front, so right on the side, elbow to help block that knee so it doesn't start creeping forward again. And then once you're there, the other way you can increase it is by going ahead and taking this back leg slightly more across your body as you press your hips down towards the floor. Now, I am not the most flexible person in this position, so hopefully you actually look a little bit better than me here. But go ahead, just start to ease into it so we can feel that stretch into your glutes. We should be feeling it in your right glute here, more so if your right leg is forward. Now, what we don't want is pain into the knee, so if you are getting any kind of tension in that knee at all, feel free to take, again, that foot a little bit more neutral, or tuck it in a little bit more to the body. Good. Well done. One more deep breath here. Fantastic. Coming back up onto those hands, tuck your back foot, go into a plank position to start, and then shift your hips back into a lovely downward facing dog. I really want you to think about those sit bones pointing straight up into the air as you press your heels down and press your shoulders actively back towards your feet for me here. Pedal into those knees for just a quick second. Good. Then go ahead, sink your knees down towards the floor. Let's go into our left side. So step that left foot forward. Same thing as our last one. So we're going to go into that runner's lunge first. Squeeze that back right glute to open up into the front of the hip. And then option one, you can go ahead and stay here. Option two, go ahead and take those forearms down towards the floor. Again, that just allows you to increase that stretch that little bit more, but don't force it if you're compromising form. Wonderful. Keep it up. Good. Nearly there. Magic. Bring it back up to those arms. Stretch your front leg forward. Pull that left hip back and then ease into that stretch forward, into that hamstring stretch. Again, if you need to be a little bit higher, please do. There's no need to force it here. This is your stretch. But keep pulling that left hip back so that we're really getting a wonderful stretch into that front leg. Now, if you feel good, feel free to think about taking kind of your belly button down rather than just kind of your head. So think belly button forward and down as you start to flatten yourself out towards that leg if needed to increase the stretch. Again, we can also pull that pull those toes back into a nice flex position, which might start to help you feel a little bit more as well. Fabulous. All right, next up, let's go into that pigeon stretch on our left-hand side. So cross that foot across, lower yourself down, and start to get comfy here. You can go ahead and take your body all the way down to the floor if you feel comfortable with it. Feel free to close your eyes for a few seconds, catch your breath, or find your breath more than anything. That breath really does help you start to relax into that stretch, so enjoy it, feel it. Good, nearly there. Fantastic. Right, one more time, bring it up. Let's take it back into that downward facing dog for a nice transition. Really eke those heels down towards the floor. Perfect. And then coming down, I want you to go ahead and lie down on your side. So I want to get a quad stretch in really quickly. So lying on your side, try and stack those hips for me and then grab your heel. From there, I feel it a little bit more. So rather than keeping kind of your knees glued together, think about bringing that knee slightly off so it is kind of floating in the air, and then really squeeze that bum forward and push those hips forward so you feel a great stretch into the front of the leg. All right, think about really pointing that knee straight ahead of you, and then squeezing to activate again to lengthen out through that quad. Magic. Nothing better than this after a big quad day. Perfect. One more deep breath here. Magic. Then I want you to take that foot across. We're going to lie onto our back and go into a quick glute stretch here. So cross that foot across. You're going to bring those legs up towards you and then actively bring your knee to help bring your legs towards you. Now, I personally like to put my elbow onto my knee there, holding onto my ankle and then bringing everything down towards me. I find for me that gets the best stretch. You might also find if you put a hand on it and just push that knee away from you as you bring your ankle towards you. Really gets into that glute. Now just watch your hips don't start to pull off in one direction or another as you do this. You still want that tailbone pointing forward. So breathe into that for me. Magic. Hopefully that's feeling good. one more deep breath here. And then just because it's one of my favorite stretches, we'll go into a quick spine stretch. So take that knee that was just in the air up towards your chest, take it across your body and let it fall down towards the floor as you take your head and your arm the opposite way. Again, breathe into this twist. Magic. Okay, bringing those legs back towards you. I'm going to go ahead and swap sides. Feel free, if it's easier for you, you can just roll over to the other side. But go ahead, we'll start with that quad stretch first again. So grab onto that ankle, press that knee down and away from you, and then roll that hip forward to really feel that stretch into that quad. Awesome. So this is a good mobility routine to either do kind of in the morning, late at night, certainly after your workouts, not before. So use it when you need it, if you are feeling that sore. And it's a good thing to progress on as well. So don't be afraid to do it multiple times in a week to start to increase that flexibility in areas that you're feeling a bit tighter. Magic. Roll it onto your back. Oh, again, ease it down. Cross that leg across and then bring everything up towards you. Good. You can start to feel which sides are tighter as well, helping to kind of stretch it out, maybe staying a little bit longer on those tighter sides can be great for starting to ease out imbalances. I know for me, this right glute is always, always worse than the left hand side, always has been. So I do try and spend a little bit more time here if I can. Magic. Okay, so last that leg down. Let's go into that last spine stretch. So go ahead, take that leg across your body, take your head and shoulder the opposite way, and breathe into it. Two more deep breaths here. And then relax that leg down. Now, because it's always nice to finish with this, go ahead, extend those legs out underneath you, arms down by your side, or if you feel more comfortable, onto your belly, and just take 3 deep breaths for me. So, deep breath in, hold, breathe out, and hold. Same again. In for 4, hold for 4, out for 4, and hold for 4. Last one on your own. Good. And with that, let your whole body relax. When you're ready, if it feels comfortable, go ahead and bring those knees up towards your chest. You can hug them in, do a few rocks just for good measure. And when you're ready, rock yourself all the way up to a seated position. Awesome. Hopefully with that, you are feeling a little bit better. If anything was kind of uncomfortable or didn't feel right, feel free to drop me a message or speak to your coach. But you can definitely make sure you are in the right positions for you. But otherwise, stay tuned because we hope to come back, or I hope to come back with some more mobility videos for you soon. Anyway, thanks for watching and I hope you have a great day.